Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest, one of my best friends ever in the history of the world. We started out doing the show business together, comedy, acting, everything, and we've done a lot of stuff together. And brilliant, funny guy, great friend of mine, and he is currently co-starring in the latest Robert De Niro movie, out Friday, September 13th. It's called The Family.
Just saw a preview for it.
Yeah. And Jimmy got a cool role in there as an FBI agent. Jimmy Palumbo's here. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good to be back.
Yeah, so you go to France for how long? Like 6 weeks?
6
like
weeks.
A surreal thing. How do you get this part? Your agent sends you out, and what happened?
You'll love this because you're, showbiz guy. It was a pure audition. No one got me in.
Right,
I went through, the agent called. I went in.
They like what you did.
I did. Went to the second time. Met some guy in there. Didn't know who he was. Turns out it was Luc Besson.
Famous director,
and
Fifth Element, and The Professional.
And then you'll love this part. I get a phone call from my agent. I said, Jimmy, it looks like you booked 1 day on the film. I'm like, oh, good. He's like, well, hang on. I think it's going to be 2 days. All right, call me back. 2 minutes later. No, it's like 4 days. 4 days on the film. I'm like, good.
This was the big De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer movie.
I didn't know that at the time.
Tommy Lee Jones.
And then all of a sudden, of course, my manager, who you call
my ex-manager, great man, Peter.
Great guy, but so they both get on the phone. Now I'm like, what's going on? They're like, dude, it's a De Niro, Pfeiffer, Tommy Lee Jones film, and you're going to be 6 weeks in France. I was like, are you kidding me? I ducked into a lousy bar over there on 23rd Street, had a cocktail to celebrate. But
I've never been there.
Well,
it's good. You got to celebrate.
I know. It was huge. And then next thing you know, I'm in France, and I did my scenes with Dominic Lombardozzi.
Right.
Who you know.
Great actor.
And,
he's been here before.
Yeah. And, I mean, we were in a room every night having dinner with, Tommy Lee Jones, De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer for 6 weeks.
Now, most of your scenes are with whom? Michelle
Pfeiffer, yeah.
Right. Now, what was she like?
She was great, man. You know what? I don't have any bad thing to say about anybody there. She was, number one, she's beautiful.
Good seeing you.
No, I know you.
No, I mean, listen. What are you gonna? You can't make up bashing.
Listen,
what are you gonna?
Believe me, even if you were there, you would have found no negatives, except you wouldn't have been able to shower there because I had to shower.
I was in Afghanistan for 8 days.
Let me tell you something. I bet they had better showers than I had.
Why? Where were you?
Because I only had a French tub. You ever showered in a French tub? You got to do the thing?
Yeah. I was in Paris for 8.
Yeah.
You know what? I checked into a hotel in Paris before my hotel because it wasn't ready yet, and I had to sleep.
What?
I had 8 hours before I could check in, and I had to go to sleep. I was about to fall asleep, and I checked into a little hotel on a side street in Paris. Same thing.
But you couldn't get in. You couldn't deal with that.
No.
It took me 3 days to.
I would have quit show business. Wait, so what did you do? I don't understand. So you had to do the thing where you pick it up.
You pick it up, but there was no tile on the floor, so it was all wood. So when you missed, the water went on wood like wood. It was brutal. And then about 5 days.
The whole 6 weeks.
No, it was 3 weeks up in Normandy, which is the middle of nowhere,
right by the
on
beach.
Luke's estate. No, about 40 minutes south of the beach. And Michelle Pfeiffer was in my room because we were kidding around about which room I'm in, and she's like, "Oh, I was in that room."
Wait a minute, she stayed in the same facilities?
Yeah, and we all did.
No.
Every night.
Michelle Pfeiffer stayed in the wooden shower with the.
Pfeiffer was about 100 yards in a little chateau. De Niro was 50 yards on my left. Tommy Lee Jones was upstairs, and Dominic was 8 feet from my door.
Well, you're kidding me. So De Niro had the same facilities?
De Niro, we all ate together every night.
I would have insisted.
And he would walk in and sit down, a table away or sit down next to me, wherever there was an empty chair.
Now, what was the conversation like?
Well, at the beginning, you're a little like, next thing you know, of course, I started the bus jobs, you know. And next thing you know, Tommy Lee Jones he sat next to me every night. He was a lot of fun. He was a little acquired taste for some, but I got a huge kick out of him.
Well, he's legendary for being a little angry, but I think he's a nice guy.
No, he's a nice guy, but he's also smart. And then he's kind of like...
He's a Yale or a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
Harvard. He played football at Harvard.
Okay, yeah.
And he's a big Cowboy. He's a big Texan. He called me a Yankee, which I think is hysterical.
That is funny.
But he meant it, though. It wasn't like, you're a Yankee. It was like he looked at me. But he was great. I had like a man crush on him because I started to laugh at he would switch conversations in midstream and then talk about something that, changing the world or saving the dolphins. And then he would talk about our scenes, of which I knew nothing because I wasn't shooting until 3 days. So this went on every night.
So describe your character.
Incredible.
It really is. What an experience.
It was nuts. It was nuts. I tell you, it was. I can't. The movie's coming out on the 13th. Got the premiere this Tuesday.
What about Michelle Pfeiffer.
She is. She's
is
first
she
of all,
like
she's beautiful. She's still
5 or something.
She might be pushing 60 years old, Michelle Pfeiffer.
No,
and I've heard that it's
she's
she's had no work done or anything.
First of all,
she's
like,
ugly.
listen to me.
Purely
In football
natural.
talk, I don't know if she has deep speed anymore, but like 3rd and 5 over the middle, you're looking.
She's 55.
Jim Gordon would go looking. Pfeiffer, she's got 5.
Here, look, Pfeiffer.
No, she looks fantastic, and she was sweet. She couldn't have been nicer. I mean, she was
you
like.
ate with her too?
She started to miss a few meals. We started to bust her chops.
She's probably anorexic.
No. She was great. I swear to God. She sat with us.
I'm just kidding. I mean, a lot of anorexics are very nice people.
No, she was sweet. She's a hottie, I think. She was great.
Now, did it ever get to like how did it like after a while? Did it ever feel close enough to where like, hey, you want to hang out outside the movie shoot with anybody?
When
did you make that creepy move?
I met all. No. She's married to David Kelly, who's got a few dollars.
Not like you're gonna bang her. I'm saying, hey, you want to get a Pabst Blue Ribbon next time?
I thought that happened on all sets. Like people just hook up randomly.
You know what?
Right? Apparently, sounds like his best shot was Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. You know what?
Come here, Yankee.
You know what? No one at this table could hit Pfeiffer's fastball.
No.
Not even you.
De Niro could. Come on.
Yeah.
No. They were. It was the first day we got there. I met all 3 of them: Tommy Lee Jones, De Niro, and Pfeiffer. In the first 30 minutes I was there.
Right.
And then Luke says, "You must go watch with Michelle. Go watch a movie in my big theater."
Well, explain what the movie is.
Goodfellas.
Explain what the movie is and why you want to watch your Goodfellas.
Because the movie's about.
It's a dark comedy.
It's a dark
called The
comedy
Family.
drama kind of deal called The Family. De Niro and Pfeiffer.
The trailer and the commercials make it look like a flat-out comedy to me.
Yeah, there's comic. It's like a black comedy, dark comedy, but also there's a lot of drama to it. I mean, it's violent. There's gunfire and stuff. It's got like a Luc Besson twist to it. Mm-hmm. And I played me and.
Now, what is it about?
It's
De
about.
Niro's a mob guy, right?
Yeah, and he's on witness protection in France, and we're in charge of watching him. And the mob from New York really wants him. They want him dead.
Okay.
So we're in charge of. We're like
you and Dominic are FBI guys.
Yeah, and we're like lame. Well, we're like we kind of think we're like. It's not a good gig for us.
Sounds funny.
And we get stuck, watching over them, and all heck break loose. So, it's cool.
And how was Michelle Pfeiffer involved? She's his wife or something?
She's his wife, and she's real friendly with us. She always makes like sausage and peppers and roasted peppers for us.
She plays an Italian woman.
Yes, she plays an Italian, and she's always cooking for us to get things from us, information. Like what's going on.
Okay.
De Niro is like we want nothing to do with him, that kind of deal, because he's like the main killer.
Right.
But so that's the connection. That's why most of my scenes with her. She was great.
That's great.
She's a doll.
And Bichetti, is Bichetti still in the movie?
He is. He's in it. He plays. It's a very.
You're in the movie, Bichetti.
I know. Jimmy made my day. You told me earlier.
You have a full. You have a full like shot. You're a punchline. What you're wearing and everything.
Welcome to the business.
I mean, it's not like here and like you're a punchline in this movie. It's like clear.
Right. He plays an acidic Jew.
Yeah, which is
He's in the whole
great.
outfit.
I think you're gonna get your audience is gonna get a big kick out of it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Now, what is your scene?
De Niro's holding me up at gunpoint.
So you're back in New York with him.
Yeah, Williamsburg actually shot on a Sunday.
But the scene is supposed to be in New York.
It's 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I think it was supposed to be 85, Jim, or something like that. You think?
Yeah, about 20, 25 years ago.
We don't need the exact year, but.
No, it's great. It's a funny scene. Artie, you're gonna laugh at it.
Oh, great. Well, no, it sounds like a funny idea, and it sounds like a flat-out comedy to me, which I like.
Well, but it has like a little bit. You know how like Goodfellas has kind of it's funny, but it's not.
So because it's a mob-based movie, De Niro and everything, Luc Besson wanted you and Michelle Pfeiffer to watch Goodfellas.
Yeah, so I landed in France, and 2 hours later, I'm watching Goodfellas with me, Dominic, and Michelle Pfeiffer, which was like insane to me. And of course, I can't watch Goodfellas without crying.
Well, to us, when we grew up, it's a comedy.
Oh, it's a comedy.
It's a full comedy.
Were you discussing while watching?
No, she watched it, and afterwards she said to me, because me and Dominic.
Well, you said something very interesting. She never saw it before.
No, she said I haven't seen it in a long time.
Right.
But, because it came out, it's not exactly. For us, it's
1990.
like. When I say I haven't seen Goodfellas in a long time, I mean like since last Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she probably saw it when it came out or something.
Yeah, I know. Dominic had, because the DVDs we brought with us over there, like, Dominic had like Goodfellas. Like, I think he had like 3 copies of Casino, which, why would you bring 3 copies? Like, he wanted to give them out to people. So one night we just watched Casino in his hotel room. And, I would tell De Niro the next day how funny Pesci was, and we would laugh. And then Harvey Keitel stopped in.
Now, what was your
crazy.
to do? What to do a scene?
No,
or
just to
hang
show
out?
up. He was in France. He came
Now,
up.
does he stink? I heard he stinks.
No.
Physically.
He was funny.
I heard he doesn't bathe right.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's right.
wear deodorant or whatever.
I don't. You know what? I had like 6 glasses of wine in me. I couldn't smell it.
Now, what was your reaction? You said you had some awkward conversations with De Niro, or like, did you talk to De Niro? You engage him in conversation?
No, he was very sweet, very kind. He kept on saying, you're a comic, you're an actor, tough racket, He was very, very, very calm, very, very sweet. He stood by himself, and he always stood about 10 feet away from the director. He didn't go back to his trailer.
Did you ever see him have sex with a black woman?
I don't.
What are you afraid your friendship is going to go away with him? I'm sorry. I don't want to get in between you and Bobby.
Now listen, of course, I know De Niro's watching the show right now live. He's probably streaming it on Facebook.
You know what's amazing about De Niro is he grew up on Bleecker Street. These were his streets. If you ever read anything about De Niro, right where we are right now, because Bleecker's a couple of blocks down. He was an only child. Father was an artist. His mother was some sort of artist. And he grew up in like a cold water flat on Bleecker. Right. And as a little kid, he would roam Varick Street and King. I read a book about him, and Clarkson Street and Carmine Street. And he would just walk around as a little kid in this area, absorbing like every character in New York. And that's how he got into acting, like right where we are right now.
He couldn't have been more. He was sweet, especially to the his son in the movie, just actor named Johnny DeLeo, is a kind of a newcomer. He's from Jersey, and he was very sweet to him. You could tell like he was the man on the set,
right?
Very unassuming, not and not the guy from Goodfellas,
right,
that
right.
kind of guy.
Well, actors who play his son he must be nice to them because they have a reputation for not turning out so well.
I know.
The one kid's doing time now in the joint.
I know. I joked around with Johnny about that. I said, "Take it easy," What happens.
Was he a good kid? That guy? How old was he?
He's about 17. The two cool roles in the movie besides the big three are Diana Agron from Glee and Johnny DeLeo play the kids of Pfeiffer and De Niro.
Oh, okay.
And they have their roles are kind of cool. It's a lot of part of the plot what they do, so it's kind of cool.
And it's the family.
So were they there, like living and staying with you?
They all were. We all were. I got to know. I mean, we got to know
in a big
everybody.
mansion on Luc Besson's ranch or something.
Is this unusual?
De Niro and
when you make a movie, a lot of directors, if they have the chance to, it doesn't happen a lot because of egos and everything else and budget. But a lot of directors do want going away to camp with the people type of atmosphere with a movie because
camaraderie.
That's what
they
do.
totally want
Luke
that.
was able to do that.
It's like training camp.
Right, exactly.
First of all,
exactly.
even worse than that. First of all, I mean, I don't know any French. I'm in the middle of France, and I had no way. I didn't have a car, and we were on this like 300-acre estate. So even if I wanted to go, I just want to duck out for a beer. I wouldn't even know where to go.
Yeah.
So I only could do.
What about days off, like De Niro and
Well,
private
we
jet
went to
out of
Nor-
there, go to Paris for the weekend? Or
I think Michelle might have flown back to L.A. when she had some time off, but no, they had the bigger stars had people to take them to Normandy
go
Beach,
somewhere,
but I had
or
to
go
wait.
to Paris for the weekend.
Yeah, I had to wait until one of the
So
guys
who
said,
are
"I'll
you
give you a
hanging
ride."
out with, like during the day on an off day? Like you just
Me
hang
and
out?
Dominic. It's me and Dominic.
You would wake up and go, "What do you want to do? Walk around the ranch?"
And then we got one day we were drinking all night with Tommy Lee Jones, and he said, "I want to take you guys to an agricultural fair, learn something." Next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm in an agricultural fair with women checking out cow teats and rabbits.
Boy, he is the anti-Hollywood. Isn't he? I love him.
He said, I don't want no Hollywood here. Just, And so we walked around, and I'll never forget it because he taught me about each different animal that was there. So I came up to this cage, and there was this huge rabbit in this cage. And so he taught me like so many things. And finally I said, "Hey, Tom, what is that?" And he looked at it for like 30 seconds. He's like, "That's the biggest goddamn rabbit I've ever seen." Like, it was great. And then he was like, "I think they eat them here." It was like, he was great.
They do.
They eat
do.
the other rabbit. Oh, they definitely eat rabbit there.
Rabbit cheeks are a delicacy.
Pinocchio's Italian. Rabbit. That's what you say.
You know what's unbelievable? In France, the prosciutto, all the Italian cold cuts were unbelievable.
Well, no, anything in Europe, dude. You ever have eggs there? Eggs in Europe without all the additives? They're so yellow. And
it's great.
The first time I had an egg when I went to Germany, I remember it was like really yellow, beautiful, fresh eggs.
The croissant things in the morning with the butter and the
croissant
bread.
thing. Well, listen, it's cool stuff, man. Again, the movie's The Family, Jimmy Palumbo. Check it out. And Mike Buscetti's in it.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Jimmy. Jimmy actually is, people say, Art, is it true you drank so much? Jimmy's the one guy who had a front row seat to me when I was, in my Michael Jordan drinking.
Michael Jordan. I feel like Red Barber watching you.
Yeah, it was
That's a reference no one gets.
It
but
really
still.
is. It really is unbelievable. I'm here. Jimmy Palumbo will be back with the rest of the Artie Lange Show after these words.